the new, which says, the possible and the real are much grander than you knew. The first we experience as crisis and breakdown. The second we experience as miraculous. That's what a miracle is. Not the intercession of an external divinity in worldly affairs that violates the laws of physics, but something that is impossible from within an old story of the world and possible from a new one. Please take these words within for a moment. And centered right here, right now, in this miraculous moment of love, knowing that life and love and miracles and God are all that is. I'm knowing that we as a community are divinely uplifted and supported, and this day is a day of great love, a great gift, a great opening, a great awakening of the divine within the hearts of each and every one of us. And I'm knowing that this service is blessed. I'm knowing each and every moment of this service is blessed. I know each and every one of us is blessed. That there is such a divine blessing, such a love that is sweeping through each and every one of us in this moment. That we are truly transformed and healed and lifted up. And I know that the music ministry is blessed, that the children in back are blessed, that there is blessings galore. And I say thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, darling. So, just so y'all know, today's going to be a little bit different than normal. It already is, because you'll notice one of our keyboards is missing. That means Kenny's gone. The keyboard is usually there, and he's usually hiding behind it. Although he says he's standing up, I don't know. Anyway, let's get serious for a minute. We also have something that we want to talk to you about as a community. So I'm going to speak for a few minutes about miracles, and then some other people are going to talk to you as well. The reading contains the definition of miracle that I think is the true one. A miracle is something that standing here looking out doesn't seem possible. But if I shift my perspective and look over here, I find something bigger and more wonderful than I thought I was looking for in the first place. That's a miracle. It's when we change our perspective so we can see the answer. If we had a slogan at Center for Spiritual Living, it would be, change your thinking, change your life. But I think it really ought to be, change your habitual thinking, change your life. Which really means change your beliefs, change your life. Which really means shift your perspective and experience a miracle. And I don't know about you, but ever since I came to this philosophy, my life has been filled with miracles. There's always something I can't see from where I'm standing, and if I will allow my perspective to shift, amazing things happen. It happens to me all the time, and I see heads nodding. We have a lot of miracles in our lives. That's why we exist as a community. We exist to help people experience miracles. We are here to help people find that place within themselves where truth lives and where possibility exists and where the holy dwells and where spirit is working all the time. We exist to help people shift their perspective from a place of powerlessness and lack to a place of spiritual power and abundance and joy and freedom. Freedom. Hops up in there, yeah. It's a place where we come together to recognize this one spirit that lives within each one of us and realize that that's all that we are. That all we are is the holy, the spirit, the God that created the universe. And also at the same time that it is so much more because, spirit is expressed communally and seen and experienced communally. Individually, we have experiences of what's within ourselves, but when we come together, there is a greater experience of seeing and being seen and feeling and being felt and all of that we come together to express the divine. We come here to understand that symbiosis between serving and being served, between being and doing, between giving and receiving, and we come together to learn how to hold these million paradoxes that make up our lives as human beings. We have the human and the divine, the inner and the outer, the individual and the collective, the active and the contemplative. We learn how to hold those as a yes and rather than an either or, because that's really what life is all about, is being able to stand in paradox and know that both are true, equally true, and that there is a third viewpoint that's the place of miracle. We come here to understand really deeply. Archimedes, the Greek philosopher, said, "Give me a lever and a place to stand and I'll move the world." We come together to find the fulcrum point from where our words and actions move the world, change the world, create a different world. As the title of the book that the reading came from says, the more beautiful world that something in us knows is possible. We come together to learn to do miracles. We learn to change our perspective from the one that society teaches us, that's competitive and full of lack and full of limitation and full of fear, to the one that is filled with the richness of the universe. We help each other shift from worrying and fretting and fearing to trusting in the constant presence of life itself within us. We teach each other to change our perspective so that we can see God wherever we look. We can see that creative spirit, that life, whatever name you choose to call it by, wherever we look. Do you know we're going to be 70 years old, this particular community right here, next year? We have been in the Miami Valley for 70 years. Isn't that amazing? I just love it. We will have a big party in 2016, I'll tell you. But I was thinking about it because I started to think about our founder, Ernest Holmes, and the things that he said and taught and synthesized from the world's religious traditions. And what it comes down to is that he offers a philosophy that teaches us the extraordinary working power of our own consciousness, of our own mind. How much change our thoughts can wreak in the world. And Ernest Holmes wrote a book that we use in almost every class that was called The Science of Mind. And the introduction to that book was written by Dr. Jean Houston. And she wrote this. She said, so much of our ordinary thinking lapses into habitual patterns. We live then as limited, crippled versions of who and what we are, suffering the continuance of emotional plagues and toxic thoughts. And the world reflects this, tragically. In contrast, the science of mind takes seriously the dictum of being recreated through the renewing of our minds, and not just our minds, but our bodies and souls as well. See, that's the gift that we have here, and that's the gift we have to give the world, is being renewed, truly, mind, body, and spirit, through the shift of perspective of our minds and the way our thoughts work in us. It's not a gift we ought to keep hidden away. It's not a gift that we ought to keep to ourselves. It's one that one of the reasons that ministry called to me was that I think it's something we ought to be shouting from the rooftops and inviting in whoever is ready to participate with us, because it changed my life utterly from kind of gray and monotone and fearful to, as my friend said, opera, full color opera. You know what I mean? Musical and full and vibrant and full of color and joy. That's our gift that we can give to whoever is out there looking for it. And so our leadership council a while ago set a goal that we would grow every year, I think by 20%. That was the goal that they set. And some people have said, why? Why do we want to grow? First of all, our parent organization has a mission, and here it is, it's huge. Our parent organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, the international organization, exists to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Humanity. And to help create a world that works for everyone. That means touching a lot of lives. A lot of lives. And every one of us, when we walk out of here on Sunday, touch people in ways we don't even know. Just because we're here. We get a little happier. We get a little more joyful. We get a little more outgoing. We're a little nicer to our neighbors or the kids or the people at home or the checkout person at the grocery store. And we're touching lives. But the other part of it is that there are thousands of people right here in this Miami Valley who think that there's no place for them to go to talk about their beliefs, because their beliefs, which are exactly our beliefs, aren't mainstream. And so they feel uncomfortable. I can't tell you how many times that's happened in some of the other groups that use our space. People will say, I never knew you existed. I never knew there was a place I could come to talk about the power of the mind, and a place where I could come to talk about being the place the divine shows up on earth. There are lots of people looking for us, and so what we offer is a safe and growthful environment for people to share those thoughts and beliefs and to help each other become all that we're here to become. To give us support when things are difficult, and to help us in shifting our perspective to see the miracle. Because we can get stuck really easily. We all do it. God, get me in a car on a heavily trafficked freeway and I am stuck. Last week I drove to Tennessee and back, and ooh, my sister was with me. She's a minister too, and I'll tell you what, woo, you would never have known it inside that car. We got stuck. So at one point we kind of looked at each other and went, maybe we should pray. Worked a lot better after that, but boy, I'll tell you, we get stuck. And so we're here to support each other in that perspective shift, so that I can remember that that guy in the car in front of me is not out to get me. Really and truly is not. And those construction workers over there are not just sitting there blocking traffic. I know they're here for a purpose, right? I know they're here for a purpose. Anyway, we have lots and lots of people that come together here and that want to come together in some sort of community that will help them be able to see the miracle potential in their lives. The third point I want to make is that a larger community is a more stable community. A larger community can offer more to the people who come here, more programs, more classes, more community outreach projects, more social activities. We can better serve the whole Dayton area if there are enough of us so that we have the people who go and take mindfulness to the schools, which is part of our vision. That, you know, we have people who go and build bridges between white people and people of color in the community, build bridges between straight people and the LGBTQI community in this valley, so that we can help change the narrative that seems to be fairly common here of we can't. We can. The city has done it over and over and over again. It's just forgotten it a little bit, I think. We can, once again, have that wonderful sense of community about Dayton and its environs. We can teach other people about their individual spiritual magnificence and the spiritual magnificence we express in community. The fourth reason I think we want to grow is when we reach more people are waking up. And that is why we exist. We exist to wake up individually, to wake up together, and to help other people wake up, right? To join together with, very soon we'll be joining together with a whole lot of other spiritual and religious organizations to celebrate what I'm hoping and praying is a 6-3 decision from the Supreme Court saying that we cannot deny marriage to anyone. You know, we're part of a group that is going to do a press conference and the whole bit just to say, you know, yay. We're going to join Ireland, which just this weekend voted to make that a legal thing, which is amazing, amazing. That's a miracle. That's a shift in perspective. 10 years ago, I would have said, not in my lifetime.
Right.
It's a total miracle. We're here to help people recreate their minds and their bodies and their souls. We're here to live as fully and freely and graciously and generously as we possibly can, and to show other people that that's possible. That's why we exist as a community. A miracle is something we can't see from where we have been standing. But we shift our perspective and it appears. And part of the way that we do that is through the process of visioning. And we have a group that you probably know meets every month to vision for our community. What is the highest expression for this community? What does that look like? What does it sound like and feel like for who we are in the world? And it just keeps unfolding. And there are certain things that keep showing up month after month, year after year. They were showing up long before I came here 10 years ago, and they'll probably continue after I retire in, I don't know, 11 years maybe, if I make it that long. They are the vision statements of this community's life. And some of the things that show up are growth. The vision is always full of lots of joyful noise and lots of kids and lots of people having a really good time, living in joy and freedom. The vision is about diversity. The vision is about more and more light and more love, filled with joy and exuberance and life, filled with beauty and serenity and peace and yet exuberance. And it is filled with you, with every one of you, because every one of you is part of who we are and an essential part of who we're becoming. And so our leadership's job is to take that vision and figure out how to put flesh and skin on it, you know, to make it real in the world, to take those bones and build something wonderful on top of them. And part of it has to do with the way that we let the world know who we are. We have an incredible person in the office, Clara, who is like this little social marketing wizard. She's fabulous. She's fabulous. She's also loving and kind and funny and snuggly. and fabulous. She's just generally fabulous. We have a team of people who does things like gives us a presence at Dayton Pride and at the Yellow Springs Street Fair, and carries a big sign that says free hugs, and you know, that group will just hug their way through Yellow Springs. It's a wonderful thing. People know us because we love them. We're very loving out in the community. We have a newsletter that goes out so that people find it in the library, and part of it is that, but part of it is also how we live here together. And part of it is how we live in this building. And part of it is the way we see ourselves moving into our next larger yet to be. We have a welcome team who took on the job of making new people feel really at home here. And they are amazing people. And one of the things they did recently was to walk through, which I don't do, because I walk through every day and I don't see anything, right? You just walk to your office, and my office looks like it always does, which is, I do have the Traveling Messy Desk Award permanently awarded to me. And it's too full of books and all that other stuff. But the welcome team walked around and said, what do we need to do to make this building better reflect who we are? And they started something. They started something big. They said, what can we do to make people walk in and say, I'm comfortable here? And the Leadership Council said, how can we make people go in and go, wow, walk in and go, wow? We want our spiritual home to reflect the warmth, the color, the life, the vibrancy, the joy that's in the community. So the time has come for us collectively to create a miracle. The time has come for us to really let the vision guide us into who we are becoming, to really shift our perspective, to see ourselves more clearly, to see the magnificence that we are more clearly. It's time to make our vision a reality in this building. Yes, the other part of the vision is that someday we will move to somewhere larger and more wonderful, but we're here now. We live here. How are we making this building reflect who we are? We have a plan to make that vision manifest. And I am going to call up our Leadership Council President, Mike Reynolds, who's going to tell you a little bit more about that. We talked about having excitement translators, because Mike's an engineer, but I think he's a pretty exciting guy. I think he's a pretty exciting guy. Michael.
She's hilarious.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a beautiful day.
Yes.
First off, to the veterans, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you. You ready to imagine a miracle here at CSLGD? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that, am I? Are you ready for a miracle at Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. As Cece said, Reverend Cece, we, the Leadership Council, the Welcome Team, the Community Awareness Team, many people have been talking and thinking a long time about a new home. This home, for now, but a new home eventually, a bigger place. And back in April, at our leadership meeting, we approved and set on course what we are calling Extreme Makeover CSLGD version. With apologies to the TV program. So what is this makeover? Has anybody noticed the parking lot in the last year or three? It's in bad shape. So we probably next month, is that maybe next month, we will be repairing the parking lot, fixing the cracks and resealing and restriping so we'll know where we're parking. Really excited about that. And as Reverend Cece alluded to, we're going to bring some color into this place. We're going to bring some new paint on the walls, and maybe we can put this up now.
You can.
These are just some examples of some things that we're looking at. New colors, new carpet, new chairs, comfortable chairs. I heard that. we've been consulting with a professional interior decorator, and she's been giving us her services. Thank you for that. And so we've got a plan pretty well in place, and we'll be nailing that down here over the next week or so and taking off on that. We're going to do some other things too. If you've been back in the children's room, you realize that it needs some cleaning up too. So we're going to work on that so it's a really nice place for our kids. Going to do some things in the social hall. We're still working on what that will be, but there'll be some things done back there. So why? I think we can all pretty well tell that we need to brighten this place up. We need to put the paint on the walls. We need to make it a beautiful place that reflects us. It's going to make it a beautiful place for our visitors and new members as well. We're going to make them more attracted, more likely to stay, and that's always a good thing when you're trying to grow. And this represents an intermediate step to then going and finding that new, bigger home at some point in the future. We'll figure out what that is, but soon. And of course, if we do all these renovations, it's going to make this building more attractive to a new buyer and up the value that we get from this building. So it has many good reasons why we should be doing this. But okay, so now the question is, how do we do this? Takes money. So quite frankly, it's fundraising. A few months back, a very special man came into our community, and he happened to be a professional fundraiser. Thank you, Michael. So we've been working really hard with Michael over the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, month, whatever, and he's helped us to put together a plan to allow us to accomplish this makeover. So we've been working on this kind of silently behind the scenes for a couple of weeks now, and a small group of us got together at Reverend Cece's house for a wonderful meal and started talking about this to those folks, and the excitement in that room was incredible. For those of you that were, wasn't it a great, Carol? Great evening? Yeah. A little bit more on that here in a second. So, because of the excitement in that room there at Reverend Cece's house for dinner that night, we went back to the Leadership Council and talked to them about maybe adding some stretch goals to this capital campaign we're talking about here, this fundraising campaign. The Leadership Council imagined a bigger miracle, and so we added some stretch goals. So the main goals again were to fix up the building, fix the parking lot. So a stretch goal number one, and I'm sure some of you that have been around for a while have heard this, we have a bit of a debt to pay off. Reverend Cece's retirement account, she stopped allowing payments into that, and because we were going through some rough times a few years ago, and that built up quite a sizable debt. So our stretch goal is to raise enough money to pay off that debt and make her whole. A couple of really small credit card bills we'd like to pay off. We use those again when we were going through some tough times. Be easy to take care of those. So clearing off those debts will significantly enhance our financial health and attractiveness to a lender when we want to go out then and buy that new home. So you can see that there's really a big plan, that there's a lot of things coming together here to make this happen. And so in 3 or 4 years, we have this great big huge building that reflects even more of what we are. So I wanted to add in a second stretch goal, and this one could be fun. Even more fun maybe than the rest, I don't know. Can you imagine if we owned this building outright, no mortgage? Wouldn't it be fun to have a mortgage note burning party sometime this fall? Wouldn't that be fun?
Let's do it.
So anyway, back to that meeting there at Reverend Cece's house. That was kind of the beginning of our silent phase of this campaign. And just that night, in one night and 3 hours, we raised 25% of our main goal in one night. They just told us we can do this. Michael convinced us we can do this. And in the one night, we proved to ourselves that we can do this. We as leaders will be supporting this campaign in many ways, and financially is just one of them. So I just wanted you to know that we're all into this, and today is a beginning day for allowing you to participate in this campaign to transform. I mentioned last week, transformative event, transformative today. That begins today. We've created a dream. Now we're letting that miracle blossom. So it's your chance to get involved with this. We'll be talking with you over the next couple of weeks about how you can participate. I'll be excited to talk to you. By the way, I'll be here afterwards if you would like to talk to me this afternoon, and Reverend Cece will be here as well. So, but before I close, imagine a couple more times for me, please. Imagine a huge party in this building later this summer where we celebrate our success. We celebrate our new home with these colors and chairs and carpet and all the decor that we're going to add into this place and make it our home that really reflects who we are. Just imagine that party. We're going to celebrate our ability to make things happen and live in total abundance, which is what we are. Along the same lines, imagine a series of open houses this fall where we invite communities immediately around us, as Reverend Cece mentioned, and bring them in and let them see who we are. People that are wanting to know that there's a place for them. We'll have some open houses where we allow them to come and see and just go, wow. I'm really excited about that in my engineering sort of way. One last time. Imagine a miracle. It's not too hard. We're going to do it. So, my excitement translators. Becky, you want to go first, Nanette? Come on up.
Go ahead, Nanette. I'll follow.
Don't run too fast. Nanette's going to tell you a little bit about why she's excited about this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
I am very excited about this program. And
Microphone.
can you hear me now? And I think where I want to start, I'm Nanette Brawley. I started coming to the center in November. And I first started out taking a class called Foundations class, which was the beginning of my journey in all the books I read, everything that I've been learning all my life. It kind of brought it all together and helped me understand how to focus it and change my thoughts and how to make my life better with God, what I've been trying to do, all my life. And so now I truly do wake up in the morning, almost every morning, looking forward to my day. And that's what this center and community has helped me. And I know it will help each one of you. And what I really want to say is it truly is about commitment. And that is such a hard word. I know we whine about money because, obviously this is a money campaign. But along with that, giving away that money is the commitment that you put behind it. And that means that you're going to be a part of this community, and then you're going to give your love to this community, and then you'll receive that love back. And then you'll go and share it with the world. And I think that's what we're here for. And that's what I have to say. So I hope you all join us, and you have a commitment, and you make your commitment, and then you come and you help paint the center and take the classes and, meet wonderful new friends. It's really remarkable. It truly is. Thank you.
And I thought that was wonderful, Nanette. And like we said, the song said, how appropriate those songs Kenny picked out, man. Wow, all the world was meant for dreaming. And that's how we begin it. Long ago, how many of you have been here 20 years or more? Yeah, 20 years when I came in here in 1995. I don't even know where it was, but this changed a lot because there were a lot of dreamers in this community that we changed. This carpet was not here 20 years ago. These chairs were not here. They were hard chairs. They had no fabric, no nothing. And that used to be where the stage was. And these were all closed, like these little columns here. They were like maybe 3 feet wide, 4 feet wide, very closed in. This here used to be our music room where we would store, we'd have our sound. And so through the dreaming and the ideas that others had to create a space where more of us could come and grow together and be in a place that was open, all these things began to get removed. People came in, gave of their gift, of their time, and phenomenal. I mean, this was not here. None of this was here at all. And little by little, they built this stage because we could no way have accommodated a band at this location right here. So one of the dreams was creating more space and then opening up for an opportunity for a band. And as you can see, we're really outgrowing this space actually, but we're going to be in the process when we actually are building and renovating, we're going to be cleaning this up. So this is going to look a lot different, what you'll see here, to really reflect who we are. Because I don't know about you, but this community has meant a lot to me. More than I even have words. Walking in that door the very first time I did and hearing somebody talk and honor all traditions, I'm like, yeah, nobody's out there trying to tell somebody else is wrong for what they believe. It was like, yeah, come in, we honor, love, celebrate, let's worship together. And I got to know people by working in the bookstore. I love books, and it was a lot more fun. And the bookstore was where the library is. So, I mean, there's been a lot of evolution. So it would be fun to have everybody come and be a part of this evolution so that we can co-create what it is for who we are today. Because we are pretty awesome, really awesome. Wouldn't you say so? Yeah. So how about with me say, we are awesome. We are awesome. One more time. We are awesome. Oh, that's so good. Say it one more time. We are awesome. Woo! Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Becky.
It's really true, we are awesome.
Yeah, we are.
It's pretty, this is an amazing community, amazing group of people. Amazing things we do together, these miracles we create. So just stop for a minute and let your mind be filled with your vision of color and exuberance and joy and beauty and freshness and even more love, even more love. That's who we are. So let's pray together. In this moment, we are breathing in Spirit. In this moment, we are breathing out Spirit. In this moment, we are Spirit. Because Spirit is all there is. There's nothing outside of it. There's nothing in opposition to it. It is the very life of all that exists, creating newly, moment by moment by moment. But in essence, eternal, unchanging, joy, love, life, beauty, peace, serenity, excitement, passion. All of those things God is, and all of those things we are. Because each one of us is the place that life and passion and love and joy and peace and freedom shows up in this plane, on this planet. Each one of us, the manifestation of the one. And as I just breathe that in, I know and I claim for each of us individually and for us collectively that we are always becoming an even more beautiful, more colorful, more wonderful, more vibrant, more full and free expression of that one. In all that we do, in all that we think, in all that we say, in all that we are showing the world. And we are being that presence in everywhere that we go, spreading love, spreading light, spreading possibility, spreading the miracle. So I just say thank you. I say thank you to that infinite power that is always unfolding itself more and more beautifully, more and more powerfully, more and more wonderfully as we allow it. I say thank you for this amazing adventure we call life in all of its paradoxical glory. I say thank you for this community in which we are all growing and becoming and changing and finding the miracle. And from this place of deep gratitude, I release these words into the infinite law of the universe. The one that always says yes to us. The one that is always reaching toward us as we reach toward it. I let it be, knowing it's already so. And we say together, and so it is.
It is. I am just a thread, a simple thread in this glorious web of life.
We are all just drops within a stream flowing towards an ocean of light.
We may forget where we come from. We may forget where we're going to. I might not see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. I am just a seed, a blessed seed with eternity unfolding in me. And I pray that as I grow, I will reveal the love that illuminates my soul. When I remember where we come from, when I remember where we're going to, then I will see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the infinite one. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the infinite one.
Amen and amen. Now we have an opportunity to give in support of our community, but more than that, to just take a moment and count our blessings. Stop and think about all those beautiful people that are in your life and all of the blessings that life shows to you. You got up this morning, there's a blessing and a miracle right there. Amen. But more than that, every breath we take is a blessing and a miracle. Every handshake and every hug and everything that we experience throughout the day. The beautiful sunshine, the flowers of summer. Life is gorgeous. So just stop and count your blessings and let gratitude fill you as we affirm together. Gratefully I give with an attitude of abundance.
Gratefully I give with an attitude of abundance.
I know that as I give, so do I receive.
I know that as I give, so do I receive.
And so it is.
And so it is.
I could hear some yes in there. Absolutely. I have a couple of quick announcements, and the first one is to say thanks to everybody who worked on the yard sale last weekend, especially Tom and Chris Cooper, Teresa Napke, Henrietta Shandaramani, and Mike Reynolds, who worked there, took us off. Thank you all. It was great. Appreciate it. And I just want to remind you that today is the day for submitting your Cooking with God events. These are events that involve food and fun. It can be everything from ice cream to, 5 courses if you're so inclined, as long as it involves something to eat and something fun. And we will put together a catalog. People will bid on those events, and then they will show up at your house on the day chosen by you. It's our fun FUN raiser. So there are forms over on the table for you to submit your events, and we'll get the catalog put together in the next week or two. And Stephanie Stewart has an announcement about June 6th. Did you forget? You emailed me about this.
I don't know that it's necessarily an announcement. I'm going to take up a minute. Yes, it's a plea. It is. A few weeks ago, there was the initial meeting of the LGBTQ ministry, and we have a new name. It is ROAM, R-O-A-M, the Rainbow Outreach and Action Ministry. So that's a little bit easier. Yes, it is. Part of what we discussed was the Pride Parade coming up on June 6th. And it was pointed out that it would be really nice if it wasn't just Reverend Cece and those of us that fall into any of those letters, if it could be all of us. And I thought, okay, how do I make that happen? And in practitioner training, what you're taught is if you don't know what to do, you pray, and you be still, and you listen. And so that's been about 2 weeks worth of that. And boy, you want to talk about some divine timing. I'm asking you for a miracle. 40% of homeless children in America identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. If you need a different number, that's approaching 250,000 kids. That's not kids part of homeless families. These are 14, 15, 16-year-old kids on their own. They need us. They need our message. They need to see all of us walking with Reverend Cece behind a banner that has our name on it. And so I'm asking you for that. I'll have more information on where to meet and when, but on June 6th, please go home and look at your calendar and find an hour and a half. You don't have to work the booth. I'll stand there and hug people. I'll hug every drag queen and a boa that walks by. You don't have to work the booth, but it's 6 or 7 blocks. It's 6 or 7 blocks. Girl, come on. It's 6 or 7 blocks. I don't even think the parade route is a mile, okay? I'm asking you to find an hour and a half. Because I'm going to tell you something else about practitioner training. At the beginning of the 2nd year, there is an exercise. You're asked to write your own eulogy. And you're asked to project that into the future. And basically what you talk about is your legacy. So I want to tell you what my legacy was. They're called umbrella houses. Oh, yeah. And in the umbrella houses, they are LGBTQ homeless shelters. The miracle I'm asking you for in this is that you help me kill that dream. I want that vision to die on paper. And places like this, people like you, messages like ours are the ones that will kill that dream. So that's what I'm asking you for. Go home and look at your calendar. It's June 6th. We'll meet between 10 and 10:30. I'll have all that information for you next week. I'll give it to you on paper as you walk out the door. But I'm asking you, bring your friends, bring anybody like-minded, bring anybody that cares. Because there are a lot of people in our community, right here in the greater Dayton area, thousands of people that need to know they have a safe place, they have a place where they are loved for exactly who they are. Thank you. Absolutely. Bring them all.
Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to know that there weren't any homeless kids who weren't loved? Man, that'd be wonderful. I'm with you there. So that's 2 weeks. That's a week from this coming Saturday. It's almost 2 weeks away. June 6th in the morning. The following Saturday, June 13th, is a Yellow Springs Street Fair, which is another place we have a presence, we have a booth, we hug everybody. So come and wander through the fair and stop by the booth, and if you have some time, hang out and help us hug the crowd there. There is a whole bunch of stuff coming up. It's all on the back of your bulletin under Mark Your Calendars. I just want to point out June 22nd is a new member class, that's a Monday. And June 30th is a new thing. I went to this training in Santa Barbara to learn how to facilitate something that has been very, very meaningful for me. I'm calling it Geography of the Soul. It comes from actually a Quaker teacher. It's a very inward, deep exploration in a very safe and supportive place and way to just to help us know who we are more. And so on the June 30th there'll be a little teaser about it, and so come and participate. We won't go real deep that night. We'll just show you what it's all about, and then if you're interested, it'll be something that we'll probably meet monthly after that in a close and intimate group setting to help us discover more of who we are. So there's a whole bunch of other things on there. Be sure you check the calendar. And also, if there's anything that you would like prayer for after the service, we have our professional practitioners that are here. They're wearing teal or white shawls. And the one that I want to introduce you to, even the practitioners who are regularly here haven't met. Kate, will you stand up for just a second? This is Kate Miller. We actually hold her license. She is a practitioner from the trained at the Bodhi Center in Chicago. She now lives in Indianapolis, so we're blessed to have her as part of our community. Thank you for being here this morning, Kate. Thank you, everybody. So all of you other practitioners that are, go and talk with her, will you please, and get to know her. She's fabulous. I've known Kate for a long time. Geez, a long time, probably 8 or 9 years. Yeah, 9 years. And she was up in Chicago, and now she's just down the road. It's a wonderful thing. We also have a practitioner in Lansing, Michigan, and a few other places, because there aren't communities like ours in those places. We're the closest one in many places. It's amazing. But if you would like prayer, go and see one of these practitioners. Just ask them for prayer. They know what to do after that, and they're here to give you that 1-minute miracle as a gift on Sunday morning. You can also do a written prayer request and put it in the prayer chest at the back of the room. Sorry we went a little long today. We had a lot to cover. Thank you all for being here. Let's just change our perspective and see this miracle unfolding. And let's stand and do our closing affirmation, our closing song, which is We Are One. And then we will all go and have a fabulous rest of our holiday weekend, right? So first, the wholeness of the universe is seeking expression through me.
The wholeness of the universe is seeking expression through me.
Its nature is goodness.
Its nature is goodness.
Truth. Beauty. And wisdom. I allow it to shine through me. Today and always. And so it is. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right.